Now, another thing I was going to get into, based off that what I was saying about I can see with my fucking eyes shut, which I hope I can develop this, because if I can go around with a fucking blindfold on and see the world around me in a different light, how fucking sick would that be? That'd be mental. We'll see. I'll see if I can. If anybody has the same ability, just fucking shut your eyes and move your hands about. Tell me if you can fucking see them moving about. Just shut your eyes, pay attention, and see what you can see when you cannot see. I'd love to know. I mean, I've not actually searched on the internet whether anybody has the capacity to do this or not. I should do that. Or what I was going to talk about is consistencies that I've had during and beyond the thresholds and trips, tunnels that I've got, conscious tunnels that I've gone through, journeys that I've come back off, and then my sensory experience is different now. I don't know to what extent it is different, because I don't have a direct comparison as to what it was like before and after, but I can say with a great deal of surety, it's that fucking word, surety, it's a bit of a shit word, isn't it? Anyway, it's the word that come out of my mouth. I can say with a great deal of surety that my fucking head is fried. I can say with a great deal of confidence that my sensory experience is completely different. I mean, I can't tell whether it'd be a lot of variables in it. What does me about speech is you can only talk about one thing at a time, and I want to talk about a load of things chained together at fucking once. You know what I mean? Because if I'm trying to express some sort of conceptual structure to somebody so I can have a discussion and perhaps we can edit it around and transfer information to refine it and see if there's any bits of bullshit in there or what have you. It's all the process of alignment. I have to bang on for fucking ages to get the whole point across, because you say a point and then you've got 4 other points that are necessary to the grand point. It's like you've got to create a conceptual dot to dot. It's not even 2-dimensional. It's like 4-dimensional fucking dot to dot. But you know what am I telling you about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. What the fuck was I going on about? I was going on about sensory. Yeah. All right. Consistencies that I've experienced in acid trips and just my life in general ever since I've gone through that door, and based on the fact that everything is language, it's all pattern based. When I look at things, this is very difficult to describe. I mean, I'm not going to try and describe it in a really in-depth way. I'm just going to say it how it is, because I'm currently incapable of doing that. I can explain it, but currently it's not fucking happening. There's just writing. If I look at the carpet, right, I look at the carpet and I'll see writing on it, and it'll just be fucking words. And then I'll look closer and it'll just be the pattern of the carpet. But if I look, and it'd be like if it's far away from me, these words will appear. And sometimes when I'm looking close, depending on my level, I think it's my conscious vibration. If my vibration of consciousness is higher, these letters and patterns on the floor become more, they stand out more, they're more vivid. And in this most recent acid trip, I made the proper, this is like the 3rd or 4th time it's happened in a trip. It's like, yeah, there's fucking writing everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's consistent. I mean, I could get it. What does me about these trips is that as it becomes more intense and the conscious experience really starts to get fucking into the higher gears, to bring all of that back into this limited state is so fucking hard. Many of you will be able to relate to this. I cannot fucking tell you how hard it is to remember some of that shit. But it starts to come back to me as soon as I do activate my brain in those states again. I recently had like an edible binge, which is very, very fucking effective if you want to activate your brain. My brain communicates far better after that experience. I've done it like twice, you know, where I'll just, for a few days, I'll just fucking tan edibles. That's really effective. What was I talking about? Fucking writing on the wall. Oh yeah. So the patterns are out. It's like the patterns of the external world are in relationship with the conscious individual. The patterns change based on our level of consciousness, and the patterns we see are reflections of who we are. Because it's not what's there, it's how you look at it, right? And ever since I've had these higher consciousness experiences, a lot of the patterns, I seem to see eyes everywhere. Now, if anybody has any sense, they'll know that all of this is fucking consciousness. It's all just fucking consciousness. Everything's conscious. This isn't dead matter. It knows exactly what's going on. And, you know, people harp on about God and all that, but essentially, when we break it down, what it is everything's conscious, and it must be that way in order to flow as it does. It could not be another way. I mean, people seem to think that this is just... There's fucking infinite theories of what this is. Perhaps it's just one of many infinite dimensions that are just part of infinity. Maybe this is just what happens to have become of a situation that is practically an accident. The function of the universe is unbeknownst to us, and all these weird planets everywhere have some grand function, you know, but it doesn't make it that, to me, that's fucking bollocks. Why do I think all of this fucking shit's here? It's here for us. Not us humans, us as in everything that it has the capacity to experience. They're saying, like, if a tree falls in the forest, there are no ears to receive the vibrations. Does it really fucking happen? Like, that's not the quote, but you get the point. The existence of the outside world implies the inside world. So we see all these vast planets around us, and for all we know, they're all uninhabited. They weren't necessarily all uninhabited for all time. We have no definitive clue whether, like, I don't want to get all conspiracy theorist here, but until you've actually fucking seen something, until you've done it, you just have an idea. And, well, you could say that you have no idea as well, which basically none of us have fucking no idea either. But, I mean, this isn't what I think, but there's a part of me that's completely open to it, that it's all a fucking sham. It's like, all of this shit is a sham, and we've just been spoon-fed this bollocks to keep us in a perceptual prison. That could be the goddamn case. Well, it is the goddamn case. It's just what is the fucking things that they're paving in our perception in order to delude us from the truth. That is happening. It's just a question of what is it? What is it that is being hidden away from us? What's the real deal here? And the way that we can go about figuring that out is, first of all, identifying bullshit. We all need to just align ourselves to truth, because, I mean, it is a good question. Why shouldn't you lie? And the answer to that is because lies cast. If you speak a lie, if you are insincere, then you are expressing illusions into the world. And when you do that, it's out of alignment. And the conscious world knows you've fucking done it. And you might not believe in karma or what have you, but I know that you believe in the causality and the transfer of energy. How energy functions. Energy is always transformed, and it is a universal truth that essentially what you put out you get back, in a way that is not very obvious, and it's not exactly direct. You don't get it directly back immediately, so you can't tie things together. It's all very wishy-washy, you can't tell. And what comes to you isn't necessarily what you'd think you'd want. And you can't even pin it down either. It could be something, an energy that is spread over a wide span of time, then stops for a bit, then starts again, then stops for a bit, and then starts again. I mean, it's not just something that just comes along. It's like, yeah, you did this, so this has happened. You know, you can't pin it down. This is where intuition comes into play, into these sorts of endeavours, because we tend to conduct ourselves in our understanding of this universe. We like to break it down and see what's really there, and break it down and see what's there, what can we do with it, essentially. And that's all well and good. It's very useful for technological progression and all that. But when it comes to actually mastering our own technology, which, need I remind everybody, is fucking incredible. The fact that I can do that is fucking bonkers. Do you know what I mean? If you've ever looked in the mirror on acid and start dancing and shit like that, you'll marvel at the fucking genius of your physicality. I can't tell you how much I appreciate my hands, and that's what it's about, appreciation. Terence McKenna said, we're not here to understand, we're here to appreciate, which I'm not entirely on board with, but in terms of the infinite universe, I don't think we have the capacity to understand it all right now. I don't think you'd want to understand it all unless you were actually in the completely unified role, which you don't want to be in all the time, because that'd be fucking boring. I mean, people think about a god, right? Like, what if you made let's suppose you made Legoland, right? You got one of those big fucking green trays of Lego, and you built a fucking town on it, and you really did a good job of this shit. You know, the architecture is actually pretty fucking good for a 4-year-old kid to make. And you think, like, do you know what? I won't mind being down there, me. I won't mind getting involved in it. If you could fucking shoot your consciousness into a Lego man's head, into all of them, and have it as a vibrant, moving around flux of fucking, basically, like, there's just stuff going on, there's problems happening. Then the Lego man gets dumped by his girlfriend and he thinks, oh fucking hell, why is this shit happening to me? Well, it's got to happen to somebody. Listen, there has to be a variety of conscious experiences in Legoland, And when the fucking 4-year-old child comes back and it says like, fucking hell, oh yeah, I remembered this. I made this. I fucking made this, man. I made this shit. Oh my god, I'm not a fucking Rugo character. I've got to go to school. I've got to school. Fucking hell. Oh, what a gas. Maybe that's the crack. Maybe that's the crack. That's just my opinion. I don't know what the fuck I'm going on about here. Yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm sure there's points that I didn't finish, but, you know, whatever.